It was a quiet night, the kind of night that feels soft, sacred, and deeply peaceful. A gentle breeze slipped through the window as the moonlight bathed the room in silver. Mr. Harold, age 78, had just enjoyed a beautiful day, sipping tea, with his granddaughter in the garden, laughing and sharing old stories from his youth. As he said his evening prayer and tucked himself into bed, no one knew it would be his last night. At exactly 3:17 a.m., while the world was still asleep, Mr. Harold's heart stopped. He passed peacefully, but unexpectedly. Sadly, this is not rare. Every year, thousands of seniors like Mr. Harold pass away quietly in their sleep, often between the hours of 3 and 5 a.m. It's a pattern that medical researchers have noticed for decades. But why does this specific time, this eerie window of silence, claim so many lives? This is what scientists and doctors call the deadly hour, or the circadian vulnerability window. During this period, our body goes through deep physiological changes that, although normal, can become dangerous for older adults whose systems are more fragile. Blood pressure drops, heart rate slows, the body's core temperature cools, and the brain's signals to vital organs sometimes fail to respond quickly enough. Imagine your body like a symphony orchestra. At night, especially after 3 a.m., the conductor, your brain, quiets down. But if one section goes out of tune, like the heart or lungs, there's no one alert enough to correct it in time. The tragedy is not just in the moment of death, but in the fact that many of these losses could have been prevented with small changes, awareness, and loving attention to our nighttime routines. Ask yourself, is your nighttime routine protecting your heart, your breath, your brain, or silently putting you at risk? As we explore this topic, remember, this video is not to scare you. It is to prepare you, protect you, and walk beside you with wisdom and warmth. Because your life matters, your sleep is sacred, and your tomorrow deserves to come. In the next section, we'll explore why this truth matters so deeply after age 60, and how science can help us understand what really happens in those early hours. Why this scary truth matters after 60. You've likely heard the saying, sleep is the best medicine, and for most of our lives that's true. But after 60, something begins to shift, silently, gradually, and sometimes dangerously. Let's take a step back and understand why this video and this conversation is so important. This is not about fear, this is about awareness. Because when we understand what's happening inside our bodies at night, especially in our golden years, we gain the power to protect ourselves and the ones we love. Here's the sobering fact. According to several medical studies, the risk of sudden death during sleep rises dramatically after age 60, and one of the most vulnerable windows for seniors is between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. In fact, hospitals often report a spike in cardiac arrests, strokes, and emergency calls during these hours. This has puzzled doctors for decades, but now we understand it more clearly. And it all ties back to our body's internal clock, known as the circadian rhythm. Your circadian rhythm is like a spiritual metronome. It regulates when your body sleeps, wakes, digests, heals, and even repairs your heart and brain. But after 60, this natural rhythm begins to weaken. Our hormone levels change, sleep becomes lighter, our ability to regulate blood sugar and temperature drops. And crucially, our heart and lungs don't always respond as quickly to sudden needs. In the middle of the night, scientists call this the circadian vulnerability window, a time when the body's defenses are at their lowest. Blood pressure dips naturally during sleep, and while that's normally healthy, for someone with clogged arteries or an irregular heartbeat, that drop can be dangerous. The brain uses glucose differently at night, and if you've skipped a meal or taken a little too much medication, your blood sugar can plummet without warning. And if you're snoring or stopping breathing without realizing it, your oxygen levels could fall to life-threatening lows, silently. Let's imagine a woman named Teresa, age 71. She's fairly active, loves gardening, and reads before bed. But like many seniors, she occasionally forgets to eat dinner, takes her blood pressure pills on an empty stomach, and assumes her loud snoring is just part of aging. What Teresa doesn't realize is that these tiny habits, so harmless on their own, may be creating a storm inside her body during sleep, a storm that could take her life without a sound. The purpose of this video is to open our eyes with love, not fear, because the moment you know, you can begin to heal. You can start making choices that reduce your risk, protect your heart, balance your blood sugar, and create a sleep environment that restores your life, not risks it. So stay with us. We're about to explore 5 hidden causes of sudden death in sleep that every senior over 60 should understand. And for each one, we'll give you simple, loving ways to reduce your risk starting tonight. Ask yourself, if one small change tonight could protect your life, wouldn't you want to know what it is? Next, we'll begin with what may be the most silent yet dangerous issue of all, the heart's hidden rhythm and its deadly drop during the quietest hours. Heart rhythms and the dangerous. Drop your heart is not just a muscle, it's a messenger. Every beat is a signal that life is flowing through you. But after 60, this message can sometimes get scrambled, and if it happens during sleep, the results can be devastating. Let's talk about bradycardia, a condition where the heart slows down too much during sleep. Now, a slow heart rate can be normal, especially for athletes. But in seniors, an abnormally low heart rate can lead to dizziness, fainting, or even sudden cardiac arrest. And it often happens when the body enters deep sleep. Why? Because during those restful hours, the parasympathetic nervous system takes over. This is your rest and repair mode. It slows the heart, lowers blood pressure, and brings a sense of peace. But for an aging heart, especially one with previous damage or undiagnosed arrhythmias, this slowing down can become a dangerous freefall. According to the American Heart Association, more than 1 in 5 adults over 65 has some form of arrhythmia, an irregular heartbeat, and many don't know it until it's too late. One type, called sinus node dysfunction, causes the heart's natural pacemaker to misfire, leading to long pauses between beats. If this happens while you're awake, you might feel dizzy, but if it happens during sleep, there may be no warning at all. Let me share the story of Mr. Harold, a retired school teacher from Michigan. At 74, he was still sharp and active, but he'd occasionally feel tired and breathless after climbing stairs. His doctors chalked it up to age. One night, after a peaceful day and a light dinner, Harold went to bed and never woke up. The autopsy revealed undiagnosed bradyarrhythmia. His heart simply slowed until it stopped, quietly, painlessly, but tragically. Now here's the good news. We can protect ourselves. Seniors can and should monitor their heart rhythms regularly, not just with doctor visits, but even at home. Devices like smartwatches, heart rate monitors, or sleep trackers can alert you to sudden drops in heart rate. Even simple pulse checks before bed and upon waking can reveal patterns worth discussing with your doctor. And there are lifestyle steps too. Avoid heavy meals before bed. They divert blood flow to digestion and strain the heart. Stay hydrated, as dehydration thickens the blood and stresses circulation. And limit nighttime sedatives unless prescribed. They can deepen sleep in a way that overly suppresses heart activity. Spiritual reflection also helps. Before sleep, try placing your hand over your heart and saying, "Thank you for every beat. Today, may this night be peaceful and protected." Your heart listens, it responds to rest, rhythm, and respect. And when you sleep with awareness, you invite healing, not harm. Next, let's explore a second silent danger that can rise in the dark. The sharp and sudden drop in blood sugar, which can steal life without warning, especially for seniors. With diabetes or irregular eating patterns, blood sugar drops. The silent killer at 3 a.m. Have you ever suddenly woken up at night, drenched in sweat, heart racing, and not knowing why? For many seniors, this isn't just a bad dream. It's a silent warning. A sharp drop in blood sugar known as nocturnal hypoglycemia can strike between 2 and 4 a.m. And if it goes unnoticed, it can be fatal. Let's break it down. After 60, your body's ability to regulate blood sugar becomes less efficient. This is especially true if you're diabetic, take insulin, or even certain blood pressure or heart medications that interfere with glucose balance. During the day, you can feel when your sugar drops, dizziness, shakiness, hunger, but at night, while you're asleep and unaware, the brain can starve quietly. This is dangerous because the brain relies on glucose for energy, and when levels fall too low, the brain's ability to control the heart, breathing, and muscle coordination shuts down. In worst cases, this can trigger seizures, unconsciousness, or cardiac arrest during sleep. Some researchers call this dead-in-bed syndrome, sudden nocturnal death linked to undetected hypoglycemia, especially in older adults. Let me tell you about Ms. Lorraine, a 78-year-old widow who lived alone in Florida. She was managing type 2 diabetes and often skipped dinner if she wasn't hungry. One morning, her neighbor noticed her newspaper untouched at 10 a.m. When the police entered her home, she was found in bed, peaceful but gone. There was no struggle, no noise, just silence. Her last blood glucose reading, taken the evening before, was borderline low. Her doctor later said she likely slipped into severe hypoglycemia around 3 a.m. and never woke up. It doesn't have to be this way. Here's how seniors can protect themselves. Never skip dinner, even if it's light. A small, balanced meal with slow-digesting carbs and protein, like oatmeal with a spoon of nut butter or yogurt with berries, can stabilize blood sugar overnight. Avoid alcohol before bed, especially on an empty stomach. It can cause a delayed drop in glucose. Take medications as directed, and always discuss with your doctor if you feel dizzy, weak, or confused before bedtime. Use a continuous glucose monitor, CGM, if you're diabetic. Many now offer real-time alerts if levels drop during sleep. They can truly save lives. Keep a small snack near your bed, like a banana or glucose tablets, especially if you felt lightheaded during the night before. And remember, your body is a temple. It thrives when you feed it lovingly and care for it wisely. Before you sleep, whisper a prayer or affirmation. May my body rest in balance. May my blood carry peace, not panic. The night doesn't have to be dangerous. With awareness and small habits, you can make it a time of healing, not harm. Now let's turn to another nighttime threat. One that comes not from the inside, but from the air around you. Low oxygen levels while sleeping. When the lungs slow down, oxygen dips and sleep apnea. After 60, imagine your body lying still, peacefully asleep. But inside, a storm is brewing. With every breath, less oxygen reaches your brain, your heart, your cells. You're suffocating slowly, without even knowing it. For many seniors, this is the dangerous reality of sleep apnea and nocturnal oxygen desaturation. After age 60, our breathing patterns naturally become shallower during sleep. The muscles that keep the airway open may relax too much, especially in deep sleep or when lying on the back. This causes the airway to partially or fully collapse, interrupting breathing for 10 seconds, 30 seconds, sometimes even over a dewey. These repeated drops in oxygen, often happening dozens to hundreds of times per night, put massive strain on the heart and brain. This condition is called obstructive sleep apnea, and it's far more common in seniors than most realize. It doesn't always come with loud snoring. Sometimes it's just gasping, choking, or waking up feeling like you've run a marathon. Some seniors even report frequent bathroom visits during the night, not knowing that oxygen dips can stimulate the kidneys unnaturally. What makes this so serious? Low oxygen during sleep can trigger sudden arrhythmias or abnormal heartbeats, increase risk of heart attack or stroke during the night, lead to cognitive decline, memory loss, and even early dementia, cause extreme daytime fatigue, increasing risk of falls and accidents. Let's talk about Mr. Harold, a 76-year-old retired school principal. He lived a healthy lifestyle, walked every day, ate sensibly but felt exhausted every morning. His wife noticed long pauses in his breathing at night, followed by gasps. After a home sleep test, it turned out he had severe sleep apnea. His Oxygen levels were dropping to below 80% repeatedly through the night. That's like living on a mountaintop without enough air. He now uses a CPAP machine and says he feels like a new man. He even jokes that his dreams are clearer now because his brain finally gets oxygen. Here's how seniors can protect their oxygen levels during sleep. Get a sleep test, especially if you snore, wake up tired, or feel foggy during the day. Many tests can now be done at home. Sleep on your side, not your back. This reduces airway collapse. Maintain a healthy weight. Excess weight around the neck worsens airway blockage. Avoid alcohol or sedatives before bed, which can overly relax the throat muscles. Consider oxygen monitoring devices like a fingertip pulse oximeter to track nightly oxygen dips. And remember this, your breath is life. Every inhale is a prayer. Every exhale, a gift. Never ignore what your body whispers at night, because it may be crying for help. With this knowledge, you can sleep more peacefully, knowing your body is being protected, breath by breath. But there's one more invisible threat we must face, one that strikes the heart when it's least expected. Hidden heart problems after 60, when the heart slows too much during sleep. Your heart is a faithful servant, beating over 100,000 times a day, never resting, never asking for a break. But what happens when this silent protector begins to slow down too much while you sleep? For seniors over 60, this is a serious danger that often goes undetected until it's almost too late. As we age, the heart's electrical system may weaken or misfire. This can lead to bradycardia, a condition where the heart rate becomes abnormally slow, especially at night when the body is at rest. While a lower heart rate during sleep is natural, a dangerously low rate can starve the brain and organs of oxygen, leading to confusion, dizziness, and in extreme cases, even cardiac arrest during sleep. One common cause is sick sinus syndrome, a disorder of the heart's natural pacemaker. Seniors may not feel symptoms during the day, but at night their heart rate can drop into the 30s or even 20s. Normal is 60-100, which is far too slow to sustain life comfortably. Let me tell you about Miss Clara, a graceful 81-year-old piano teacher. She never smoked, always ate oatmeal for breakfast, and had a calming presence that everyone loved. But for weeks she'd been waking up suddenly at 3 a.m., gasping, her heart pounding, followed by intense fatigue in the morning. Her doctor ordered a 24-hour Holter monitor, and the results were shocking. Her heart had paused for 7 seconds. During the night, she now has a pacemaker and says she hasn't felt this alive in years. "My heart finally keeps the rhythm," she says, "even while I sleep." Here are some warning signs that your heart may be slowing too much during sleep. Sudden awakenings with shortness of breath, or a feeling of panic morning fatigue, even after a full night's sleep, lightheadedness or near fainting when getting up unexplained, falls during the night or early morning, memory lapses or confusion upon waking. And here's what seniors can do to stay safe. Talk to your doctor about heart monitoring. If you've noticed odd sleep patterns, especially paired with dizziness or fatigue, ask about a Holter monitor or event recorder, which tracks heart rhythm over 24-48 hours, including during sleep. Stay hydrated. Dehydration can worsen bradycardia and nighttime blood pressure drops. Don't ignore mild symptoms, like lightheadedness or skipped beats. These are often early warning signs. Your heart doesn't ask for much, just a little attention and a lot of love. Treat it like the precious clock that it is. Because when the heart slows too much, in sleep time itself may stop. Now that we've uncovered the dangers of a slowing heart, we must look deeper into the brain's nighttime storms. What if your mind itself begins to short-circuit silently during sleep? Sudden brain events, mini strokes and seizures in the night. The brain is our command center, silently orchestrating thoughts, emotions, movement, and sleep. But after, in 60, the brain can face sudden nighttime threats that don't always wake you, but can quietly harm you. Two of the most overlooked dangers during sleep are mini strokes, also called TIAs, and silent seizures. Let's start with mini strokes. A transient ischemic attack, TIA, occurs when blood flow to a part of the brain is briefly blocked, often by a tiny blood clot. Unlike a full stroke, a TIA lasts only minutes or hours, and symptoms often resolve. But here's the problem. Most TIAs during sleep go unnoticed. You might wake up with a numb hand, blurry vision, or sudden confusion, and think it's just sleepiness or age. But in truth, your brain may have suffered an insult, and each TIA increases your risk of a major stroke. Now let's talk about nocturnal seizures, often silent but serious. These can be caused by previous brain injury, high blood pressure, or even sleep apnea. Seniors may not thrash around during these seizures. Instead, signs may include waking up with a bitten tongue, confusion, wetting the bed, or extreme exhaustion. In some cases, the brain reboots silently, and the person has no memory of it at all. I remember Mr. Anthony, a kind-hearted 75-year-old retired engineer. He'd always been sharp and full of life. But one morning, he woke up disoriented, couldn't recall how to turn on his coffee machine. His daughter noticed it had happened twice in a week and pushed for a neurologist appointment. A brain scan revealed he'd had multiple nighttime TIAs over the past few months. Thankfully, he began blood thinner therapy, improved his sleep, and hasn't had a single episode since. Here are some warning signs of brain events during sleep. Waking up confused, disoriented, or unable to speak properly, tingling, numbness, or weakness on one side of the body in the morning, unusual headaches upon waking, sudden loss of coordination or balance, unexplained wetness, tongue biting, or morning muscle soreness. What can you do to protect your brain during sleep? Control blood pressure. High BP is the #1 risk for strokes and seizures. Take medications regularly. Get checked for atrial fibrillation, even if you feel fine. It's a major silent stroke risk. Sleep on your side, not your back. This helps with breathing and blood flow. If you've had brain fog or memory issues, ask your doctor about a sleep EEG or brain scan. Stay hydrated and avoid alcohol or heavy meals late at night, which can trigger brain stress. Your brain is your soul's lantern. It holds your memories, your voice, your laughter. Keep it safe even while you sleep, because a storm in the brain, however brief, can change everything by morning. Coming up next is the final danger, something most seniors never hear about: low blood sugar during sleep. It's more common than you think, and far more dangerous than most realize. Blood sugar drops at night. The danger of no fuel for the brain now. Let's talk about a threat that's silent, sudden, and often completely misunderstood. Blood sugar crashes during sleep, also called nocturnal hypoglycemia. After age 60, especially if you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, your body's ability to regulate sugar levels becomes more fragile. And during the night, when you're not eating for 7-8 hours, the risk of a dangerous drop becomes very real. Why? Is this a big deal? Because your brain lives on glucose. It's like gasoline for your thoughts, heartbeat regulation, and even breathing. If your blood sugar drops too low while you're asleep, your brain can't function properly. In extreme cases, the heart can stop, breathing slows down, or a seizure can occur, all while you're in bed unaware. One of the most heartbreaking cases I recall was of a 68-year-old man, Mr. Lewis. He had type 2 diabetes and was trying to be disciplined, so he skipped dinner to keep his sugar low. Tragically, he passed away in his sleep. His autopsy revealed severe nocturnal hypoglycemia. His intentions were good, but his body needed balance, not restriction. Here are some signs you may be experiencing low blood sugar during sleep, even if you don't realize it. Waking up drenched in sweat, nightmares, or vivid, disturbing dreams, sudden. Waking up with a pounding heart, feeling shaky, confused, or a week upon waking, morning headaches or mood changes. Seniors are especially at risk if they take insulin or sulfonylurea medications, they skip meals, especially dinner, they exercise in the evening without adjusting food intake, they drink alcohol at night, which lowers sugar levels, they already have nerve damage that blocks warning signs. So what can you do to stay safe while you sleep? Never skip dinner. Even a light meal with protein and complex carbs, like lentils, oatmeal, or eggs with toast, can help maintain sugar balance overnight. Check your sugar before bed if you're diabetic. If it's under 100 ml/dl, consider a small snack, like a banana with peanut butter or a few whole grain crackers. Avoid sugary foods late at night. They spike sugar quickly, then cause it to crash later. Go for slow, steady energy foods. Speak to your doctor about nighttime medication dosing. Some seniors need lower doses at night to avoid overnight dips. Keep a glucose tablet or fruit juice near your bed, just in case you wake up shaky. Your sleep is sacred, and so is your safety. Low blood sugar at night is not just a small discomfort. For seniors, it can be the final silent trigger that leads to heart arrhythmias, seizures, or sudden death. But the good news? It's completely preventable with awareness, nourishment, and a bit of planning. Now that we've explored these 5 silent dangers, it's time to bring everything together and remind you why protecting your sleep is one of the most powerful things you can do for your health and your life. Your sleep is sacred. Protect it with love and knowledge. Dear friend, if you've made it this far, then you've already taken one of the most powerful steps toward a healthier life: awareness. You see, after the age of 60 or 70, our bodies change in quiet ways. The organs slow down, the heart beats a little differently, the brain becomes more sensitive. And sleep, that beautiful, healing gift from God, becomes both more precious and more fragile. We've talked today about foods and habits that seem innocent, but can quietly become dangerous. From salty snacks to sugary desserts, from nighttime meats to even skipping dinner. All of these can have an unexpected impact, especially when your body is resting. But now, you're not in the dark. You're informed. And that means you're empowered. More importantly, we explored the 5 major causes of sudden death during sleep, including blood sugar crashes, strokes, arrhythmias, and breathing disorders. These are not shared to create fear, but to inspire action. You are not powerless. In fact, with small, intentional changes, you can protect your life, your energy, and your peace. Let me leave you with this gentle reminder: your sleep is sacred. Your life is a gift, and your body deserves peace, not pressure, during the night. So tonight, when you lie down to rest, remember that your choices during the day shape how safely you'll sleep. Nourish your body with love. Choose foods that support your heart, your brain, your lungs. Give yourself a gentle evening routine. Breathe deep, say a prayer, and drift into rest knowing you've done your part. If this message touched your heart, please leave a comment. Tell us how you're sleeping or share a nighttime tip that works for you. And if you know a friend or family member who's struggling with sleep or has diabetes, heart issues, or anxiety, please share this video with them. It could truly save a life. We're building a family here, a senior health community rooted in love, truth, and empowerment. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell. More life-changing insights are on the way, all designed to help you live longer, feel stronger, and sleep safer. Until next time, may your nights be peaceful, your heart be calm, and your body be protected always.